Welcome back. Our conversation with Calvin Hughes from Local 10 News. Calvin, now let's talk about Cuba. You've been also to Cuba.
Yeah.
Tell me the backstory of you deciding to go to Cuba, or you being reported
Well,
to Cuba.
it wasn't my decision. I was kind of shocked by the president of our TV station asked me if I would be interested in going. He loved the coverage that we had done over the years on Haiti. He himself, born and raised here, actually born in Cuba, but raised here in South Florida. So he had seen our coverage over the years, and he was fairly new to our TV station, had not even been here a year, and we knew some things were going to happen with the Obama administration as it relates to the Castro government. And he asked me if I would go. Actually, he didn't ask me. He told me I was going.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't speak any Spanish at that time, and I had to learn very quickly. Wow. And let me tell you, that experience coupled with the Haiti experience completely transformed me as a journalist and as a person. You get to see how in Cuba there are people who are way more talented, and I don't think he'll be offended by this, people who are way more talented than folks like Pitbull and some of the other great Cuban artists who have come out of the communist country. But these are people who can not only are incredible speakers, but writers. There was one guy who walked up to me as we were reporting on the Malecon. He said, "Let me sing for you." Started playing, man, his music was like honey. I mean, just unbelievable. And his partner said, he has 100 more songs like that. But you know something? There's no way that he could ever.
There's not a market.
Right. Not only could he not get paid like Pitbull, but unless he did something very dangerous to get over here to America, he will always have this potential, but will never be able to realize it or maximize it while in Cuba. So over there you can dream, but your dreams never materialize. Here you can dream, and if you strike the right chord with the right people, with the right audience, you can be an overnight sensation. So, you know, it only goes to show you how lucky we are here in America, whereas dreams can be realized, where in some places that's not the case.
Many fail to realize that in Cuba there's a huge black population.
Oh, yeah.
There's a huge Haitian population in there. Tell me more about your experience when you went to Cuba and realized, whoa, wait a minute.
Well, yeah.
You know, I can easily be a Cuban there.
Well, first of all, Cuba's population is 60% Afro-Cuban. So it's always fascinating to see that, because you see South Florida Cuban Americans and you see Cubans who are native to Cuba who are living there. But a lot of people don't know that Cuba was probably one of the worst offenders when it comes to slavery. So there are places where you still see vestiges of descendants of slaves, and many of them came from Nigeria. Santiago de Cuba is one of the places where you see a lot of Afro-Cubans. In fact, it's 80% Afro-Cuban. But Cuba also has a very close relationship with Haiti. What a lot of people may not realize, and what we don't recognize here in South Florida because of the government of Cuba, is that Cuba helped prop up Haiti big time after the earthquake. They gave a lot of their doctors and resources to Haiti.
And scholarship to students as well to go study in Cuba.
There's a great exchange program between doctors in Cuba and Haiti. Haitian doctors study Cuban doctors study in Haiti. So there is an incredible relationship. Unfortunately, here's what I think is the problem in South Florida. In Miami-Dade County in particular, you have a finite amount of resources. So it's not like Cubans don't like Haitians or Haitians hate Cubans. It's the fact that if it comes down between you eating and my family not eating, well, obviously there's going to be friction. So if you only have 100% of the resources that you have to try to distribute between a large Cuban population and a large Haitian population, and oh, by the way, you have Jamaicans and Bahamians and white people and poor black people, you have these people fighting for these resources.
The demand is higher.
Oh, man, if it comes down between I'm getting a burger and you're getting a burger, guess who's going to fight?
Yeah, no,
we're going to fight over this burger, brother. Yeah. Absolutely. You make it half, But if it comes down to my family again, I'm trying to get the whole burger. So I think that's what it comes down to, and that's why there's been so much friction. It's not so much as race as it is about money and resources.
The Pope went to Cuba. You covered the story. What is your take on that?
The Pope, the president, but I think the president, in my opinion, and again, I mean, I'm not paid to give my opinion, so we're kind of doing this with you, but I think the president should have made a visit to Haiti, my opinion, and I think the Pope should have gone to Haiti as well, even if it were just to stop for one day. There are a lot of Catholics in Haiti, but Haiti gets, I don't want to even say a bad rap, because to some people, voodoo is not a bad rap. Voodoo is a religion for people, but a very small percentage of Haitians. Not all Haitians practice voodoo, but unfortunately, because of Hollywood and stereotypes and the media, Haiti gets a reputation for being this capital of
largest
voodoo.
population of voodoo, yeah.
But in reality, in Cuba is where Santeria is nothing more than voodoo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, unfortunately, it's been sort of, turned into a pretzel. That is the truth. People just don't know, and they only go by what they hear. Wow. Yeah.
Let's take that time now to talk about what you do besides TV. You know, you involve a lot in the community. You stay connected with that community. What do you do on your free time? If you have free time.
You know what? What little free time I have, I enjoy my three little ones, Solomon, Roman, and Sakela. I enjoy, even if it's just taking them for ice cream. They love to play basketball. I love to play basketball. Even if it's just watching television, watching a movie, I enjoy doing that with them. I love cooking for them. I love to cook.
Really?
And I'm not just talking about pasta and marinara sauce. I mean, I can make, and I'm not just talking about oatmeal. I can actually cook. I can make a really nice meal, and I've been told it's good to me. But I don't know about. But I call it Calvin's Cafe. Exactly.
Calvin's Cafe.
Calvin's Cafe. My kids know well, but you always know when you're a decent cook when your kids don't look at your food and go, really?
Yeah.
They eat it, and they eat all of it, and they ask for more. So they are my barometers as to whether or not I can cook. But I enjoy cooking. I play basketball on Saturday mornings. I love to play basketball. I think I'm pretty good. At 45 years old, I think I'm pretty good. Wow. I love to run. I love to lift weights, and I love to read.
Absolutely. Are your kids interested in TV?
Not right now, because you will understand. You have
yes, one.
You have one. Okay, a boy, right?
Yeah, a boy. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
You will see that as they get older, the more time you spend away from them, and they ask you, "Daddy, where were you?" and you think one way to really make them feel and it's about you making yourself feel some sort of sense of comfort and not feel guilty. You say, "Daddy was working so that I can make sure you're able to get the stuff that you have, your bike and your video games and all that stuff." Well, they'll say, "So Daddy, take me to your job." And they see what you do, and you'll find out the last thing they want to do is to do your job. Because guess what? It takes them away it takes Daddy away from them. Wow. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So they have no interest in, their mom is a lawyer, they don't want to do law, and Dad is on television, I don't want to do television. Absolutely not.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, because they see it as a weapon against their time. All they want is your time, man. They don't want your money. They don't want you to buy them the latest Michael Jordan shoes or LeBrons or they don't want all that stuff, man. All they want is James. That's it. They don't want the TV James. They want Daddy. That's it. They want you to toss them up in the air, hold hands with them, tell them they're great, give them a kiss, tickle them. And it took me a long time to realize that. So.
Thank you for that piece of advice again.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I have two more questions.
Sure.
The first one is really about, single mothers out there, or single parent. What would you tell them? We have in our community, in African American community or Haitian community, so many single mothers without a father, and the kids need their fathers.
They need their fathers.
What is it? Would you say?
Well, the one thing I can say is I come from a single parent home, and at least after I was 9 years old, I would say continue to instill in them the importance of education. Because no matter where you live, the weapon against poverty is education. It's not dribbling a basketball. It's not trying to be some great entertainer. It is education. Because one thing is for sure, if you walk into a room and you prove to be one of the smartest people in the room, I guarantee you, you'll make an impression and someone will want to hire you. Mm-hmm. Or you can create a business and create your own future and your own wealth. So I think the ticket out of a bad situation, your passport from where you are to where you should be, is education. Yeah. So continue to instill that and never give up. I mean, look, times are tough for a lot of people, man. I'm more aware of that than ever before. Just because you start making a certain amount of money and start wearing certain clothes, it doesn't mean that you should get away from where you live. It's actually, or where you came from. It should mean that you should go back and try to help somebody else out. One thing that successful people should understand, and that is, just because you have it and you try to lift somebody else out of it, unless you provide a way for them to do what you've done, folks are going to always be dependent on you with their hands out.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, always, man. Oh, yeah, they're going to ask you for money all the time. But instead of just making it and then saying, I'm good, and just giving money back, you have to say, oh, okay, here's how I can help you. Here's your talent. How can I help you get to where you need to go?
A piece of advice for TV students.
I don't know how much time you have, but I'll just say you probably don't have enough time because we've been talking for a while. The one advice that I would say to them is, don't give up no matter what. Make a plan and work your plan. It's not always going to work out to the T, to the letter, but have a plan so that no one comes along and just tells you that, you know, you're able to do this, you're able to do that, and you start going off on these tangents. And it takes you a long time to get back to where you should be. I think it's important to make sure you practice your craft. If you love it, it'll love you back. There's no doubt about it. I was always embarrassed by how I spoke when I was in college. Always embarrassed. When I realized I wanted to go on television, always embarrassed. Never felt like I articulated my words. I would, for hours in my dorm room, I would take a newspaper and read out loud, over-articulating my words, talking like this as if I was Peter Jennings on television. Wow. Would always envision myself being Peter Jennings on television. And I wanted to make sure that I made sure that I could articulate my words, talking like this to people. And I had friends telling me, hey man, why do you talk that way? You talk like you're a white guy. Oh yeah. So that's when you can determine who your friends are. Because your friends either help you get closer to where you should be or take you farther away. So those guys who were saying, stop talking like a white dude, they were clearly either jealous or they were trying to take me farther away from my dream. So they only saw me as being one way, the old Calvin. But everybody has to transform. I don't care who you are. Yeah. You have to transform. You can never be the same person you were in high school. If you are, then you're not growing.
And there's no progress.
And growth is the sign of life, is it not? Yes. I mean, growth is the evidence of life. So we all have to grow. I don't care who you are. So when you grow, you transform. You have to get better. And so when I started working on my diction and people started recognizing it, and then I realized I can be a reporter on television, and I felt comfortable enough to go in front of people to speak. The rest is history. But it took practice, man. You got to practice your craft. Everybody has to practice. It almost has to be muscle memory to like a basketball player shooting free throws. I mean, like a football player going out and catching passes. I mean, it has to be like an ice skater. I mean, you have to do it over and over and over again and have a comfort level to where you feel good about it. You have to feel good about it. No one else can come along and say, James, you're excellent. You have to feel good about it, you know. And unless you feel good about it, it's not going to be right. And that should drive you to want to be the best. Because you don't represent just yourself. You represent something much bigger than you are. You were chosen. Look, we don't have an authority, and I know we have to go, but which is why I asked you how much time you had. We have no authority over what our zip code is. You and I could have been neighbors in Cité Soleil. And we know how Cité Soleil is. Yeah. You don't know whom you're going to be born to. My last name could be Gates, and you definitely would be walking into my mansion overlooking some mountain, or it could be Michael Jordan. You would be talking to me at some arena. Yeah. You don't know what your zip code is going to be when you are born. But whatever position that you put into, it's not about James anymore. It's not about me. It's about helping somebody else. And if you don't see it as that way, it has to be a service. Everything you do has to be a service. Almost like a ministry. You have to inspire other people. And if you don't see it that way, then if you think you're walking into a room and people love James, oh, everybody's like, oh, let me get your autograph. They don't care about you. They care about your position. And if something happened to you tomorrow to where you couldn't perform, they'll find somebody else to fill your position. And when that guy walks into the room, guess what? Can I have your autograph? So it's not even about you. You got to make it work for you, and how it works for you is it's by helping somebody else.
Nice piece of advice. I have to say you are definitely a book to read, Calvin. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. And also, I mean, now you're Haitian, right? The president of Haiti, the former president of Haiti.
Passez bon nuit.
Former president of Haiti, Michel Martelly, thought that you were Haitian. You interviewed him before he left office, right? So I was hosting that event, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I think you're Haitian, right?"
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Michel tries to be the funniest guy in the room, and oftentimes he is. But yeah, he was funny. He was great to say that.
Calvin, always an honor and pleasure talking to you as well.
Thank you, man.
Thank
I really
you
appreciate
so very much.
Absolutely. Merci beaucoup.
See, I am telling you, definitely a Haitian. And thank you as well to you for watching. Wonderful time with Calvin Hughes, and I really encourage you to watch Local 10 News if you are in South Florida, or watch local10.com online as well, where you will find all the information. I'm James Pierre. We'll see you next time.